Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Scott's Reviews. Today we're talking about my Jeep Willys 2024. And today's about, like the title says, my lease buyout experience. Leased it, I bought it right back. Let me explain it, go through the numbers, and we'll get into this. Let's go. So just to let you know, I'm filming with the DJI Pocket 3. I have a D-Log, I have an ND filter on, so we'll see what this looks like. And I filmed this yesterday, and then the gimbal was, I think it was tracking my hand, because every time I moved the hand, the gimbal would go do this, up and down. So we are redoing this, and I'm using the Mimo app just to make sure I am being tracked correctly. All right, so let's get into this. My lease buyout experience when it comes to the Jeep 2024. So I tried to buy a gas engine actually, and I did some videos about this, but they stopped making the 2-liter turbos. Later on, they wanted $4,000 extra for the gas engine, and I was over it at that point. Let me look at the 4xEs, because they had the incentives going on from the government for $7,500 and $3,000 from Maryland, from my state. Now, the electric makes sense if you live near a town. I can go to my grocery, I can go to church, I can go everything in a short distance and come back and maybe just use 20 miles or so total. That way you're using all electric all the time and you're saving money on gas. If you live out in the country and you drive long ways, or you commute back to work long distances, then the cost savings is not really going to be there for you. I wouldn't do it if I lived out in the country and lived far away. I had a long, like 60-mile commute to work every day. But that's me. That's just my experience. All right, let's talk about numbers, because that's why you're here. And I'm gonna go over, I'll put this on the screen so you know what I'm talking about, to kind of better explain what I did. So when you want to qualify for the $7,500 tax incentive for EV, for your own personal benefit, you have to look at a couple things. You got to look at your income. Yeah, you're making enough, and are you making too much between your combined household income? I was following into one of those two categories where I didn't qualify for that incentive. $7,500 is not easy to walk away from just to say, hey, I didn't qualify for it, so okay, I'll move on and go ahead and pay full price. I can't do that. I'd rather get the gas car and just deal with paying a little bit more, and that way I don't feel like I got screwed over because I either make too much money or don't make enough money. So one way you can do this is you need to lease the vehicle from Chrysler and then buy it back right afterwards. Now, to me, that rang a lot of bells of, all right, how much fees does this cost? What is the penalty for buying the lease back early? All that kind of stuff. Is it really worth it in the end? And then also Maryland had a incentive on theirs for like $3,000 for a plug-in hybrid, full plug-in hybrid. But if you leased it, you qualified for it. Hey, it doesn't make sense to me either, but this is what I was being told by several different dealers that they've done transactions. And when you lease it, it qualifies. We're talking $7,500, we're talking $3,000. So what does that add up to? $10,500 in savings. How could you walk away from that? So let's go over my numbers, how I got to what I got, and is it worth it in the end? My lease. So the MSRP of this truck was $65,230. And then the agreed upon price was basically how we negotiated the price off of that from that particular dealer. What is that a dealer going to give you to make that transaction happen at their dealership? They took off $5,614 from the dealer. Now we go back in, we add our tax and tag, we add acquisition fee for the lease, dock fee of $500. That all adds back up to $65,169. Basically, we're back to where we started from the MSRP. Now let's talk about the EV incentives. All right, this is what's coming off. The Fed, through leasing, qualified for $7,500. Maryland had a $3,000. I had other discounts from Jeep of $1,000. That was a little email I got from Jeep saying, hey, here's $1,000 off if you bring this coupon in. I used it, it worked. And then $500 for first responder discount. In the lease contract, it showed $12,000 as a down payment of sorts. So my total discounts from the dealer and from the incentives was $17,614. Now, I did negotiate right at the end another $800 off to keeping the lease 3 months for that dealership. Total discounts, $18,414 discounts. That's EV stuff. That's all the stuff. That's what the dealer took off. That's what I got discount off the truck. Leased it, I did pay for 3 months. I did that because the dealership asked me to do that in order for them to get credit for the sale. Some said 4 months, whatever. I said 3. They agreed upon 3. They gave me some money to keep it for that long, per se. So that's what I agreed upon. That's what I did. So we left. We made the purchase. We signed the paperwork. And then the scary part came to me is when I actually signed up through Chrystal Captial. What is it going to cost me penalty-wise to buy this lease back? Everyone says it's nothing besides a small fee that you would pay anyway if you purchase the vehicle at the end of the lease. So we have 3 months have gone by. I made my 3rd payment. I contacted Chrystal Captial and I said, hey, I would like to purchase the vehicle. Can you send me a buyout quote? They said, fine. You have this date range to send us a check with this amount to clear this account and shut it down. So that amount was $52,567. Sent them a check, waited, it cleared. No other payments came out from my recurring payments for every month. And then finally I got a title from Chrystal Captial. It was a title written basically showing Chrystal Captial as the owner, and then on the backside as it been transferred to me as ownership. I took that lease document to my DMV here in Maryland with my lease agreement, because they need to see where you pay taxes already on it, and the odometer reading acknowledgement. Took that over to them, paid like $120 in fees from Maryland, got a clean title. So the truck is officially all mine with a clean title. So it really all worked out as advertised. Out of my pocket, what I actually paid, including the payments that I made, the 3 payments, I paid $54,619 out of my pocket for this Jeep. The MSRP is $65,230. Tax and tag that everyone else would pay is about $4,000. That's not really including dock fee. But with that said, everyone would pay for sticker price for this truck $69,230. You got nothing off and you paid right at sticker. So you take that number and you subtract it from the $54,619 that I paid, and my total savings was $14,611. So I paid $54,000 for the truck. Now I look back at some of the other offers I got for a gas engine, and they were around $56,000. Now, granted, this was back in August, so I do have to say deals are probably better now since the market is really hurting on the dealership side. So it's more of a buyer's market right now for these Jeeps. In the end, I'm happy. I did enough research, did enough time into it to figure it out and get the best deal possible at the time I made my deal. So it worked out. Lease buyout through Chrystal Captial, it worked. Now, I can't say other lease companies may have different fine print, different fees for terminating the lease or buying it back too soon. So you really have to read the fine print. Make sure you know what lease company you're going through and ask all the questions ahead of time. If you have to contact the lease company and ask them directly, hey, if I purchase this vehicle and let's say in 3 months, I decide I want to buy it from you guys back, you send me a quote. What other fees are involved with that? Is it just a dock fee to get it done? Or is there a penalty for doing this? So far through Chrystal Captial, there's no penalty, just a dock fee. All right, thanks for watching. If you want more of this, let me know. So far, I think the Pocket 3 has been hopefully capturing me correctly. The head's not bopping up and down. The microphone is on noise cancellation. I'll go home now. Have a good day.